you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
Hey guys, it's Tic Tac here with another film theory for y'all from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, today's film theory is the Indoraptor naturally violent? Well, the reason this came to mind is because every time we see a hybrid, it's been shacked up into a very small cage. The enclosure for the Indominus Rex was obviously not enough room for the Indominus Rex. There are set requirements that you need for a animal of certain size for enclosures. So we know that that's not the right one, because a T-Rex is almost 4 football fields and a half. That's how big a T-Rex enclosures would need to be to keep a T-Rex comfortable. Now, since the Indominus Rex was supposed to be bigger than the T-Rex, so me and you both know that probably would not be the most stable Indominus Rex. But the Indoraptor was kept in a tiny, tiny cage. And animals tend to lash out when they're in cramped areas and don't have very good social skills after coming out of there. So, here we go. Here is Tic Tac's film theory. The Indoraptor is not really violent. Now, if you think about it, the Indoraptor, I went to Auditories and I was watching an episode on why doesn't the Indoraptor just attack Macy? Well, they say it may have imprinted on Macy, the Indoraptor. So we know this Indoraptor is not an all-killing machine. It has some caring and sympathetic, because it has Raptor DNA and probably Blue's DNA, which Blue is a sympathetic Raptor. So this could be where this comes from. But being locked up in a cage all day, every day of your life, and at this point, I'm sure the Indoraptor is fully grown because it is a prototype, and it probably doesn't require Blue's mothering skills anymore, like I said in the movie. Now, this is also a far-fetched idea because, you have 4 raptors locked up in the same size enclosure as maybe even smaller enclosure than the Indominus Rex. And I know these are much smaller creatures, but these are very fast creatures, and there's 4 of them locked up in a cage. I don't think that's going to be enough room for them to really slow down, especially with all the foliage they have going on through there. Raptors are very social creatures, though. This is what could have kept the raptors sane throughout being locked up inside this cage. And not only that, they were not locked up in a cage for its entire life, as you can see when Owen was training them as a baby and bonding with them and imprinting on them and becoming their alpha. So it wasn't always like that, so they probably grew a little more accustomed to whatever environment they were really put into. But Blue, on the other hand, when she was thrown out into the wild by herself, so there are usually 2 problems with animals, social animals. They need enough space, and they need to be social. Now, usually you can sometimes take away the space and put in social, but it doesn't work the other way around. You gotta have that social, I don't know what the word for that is, but you have to have that social factor. The social factor is a requirement for social animals. You can't throw them in to an open space, expect them to be fine with no social companions. Now, the Indoraptor never had any social companions, and it was also thrown into a cramped up cage. Now, this is probably why the Indoraptor was so pissed off at the very beginning of the, well, not the beginning of the movie, but when we first saw it. Well, actually, no. When we first saw it, it would grab it. Just touched Macy's hair, but when we saw it in the auction, it was a really pissed off raptor. I mean, who wouldn't be pissed off being locked up in a cage and getting pictures taken of you? You know. There again, another fucking cage. You know, and probably no human interaction either, because there was a red line there that said stay away from, keep this amount of distance from the Indoraptor. Now, the red line was probably put there from a previous incident that happened. So it could have been that the Indoraptor actually was violent in nature, but so it couldn't let people around it. But if it was probably mothered by Blue, it probably could turn out to be a very caring and sympathetic creature. Now, the Indominus was a very intelligent creature, and right off the bat wasn't very social at all until we see it trying to get the raptors onto its side, which works. But theoretically, that they never switch sides, but that's for another video. And the Indominus Rex was a very intelligent creature. It knew a lot about the humans, more than the humans knew about themselves, knew about thermal imaging, and knew about all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't expect an animal to know about. So for that to happen, you know, to be inside of an enclosed cage, just the Indominus Rex is a scary fucking creature. I mean, I would not want that showing up on my fucking doorstep, ripping up your fucking house to pieces. But, you know, that's how things are sometimes. You know, an Indominus Rex just steps onto your porch and says, hey, I'm gonna eat you and rip up your house. And you're like, fuck, what can you do, you know? Not really, but so this has been Tic Tac with his film theory, and the conclusion for this film theory is that the Indoraptor could be, but we probably will never know, could have been very caring in its natural state, like Blue. Now, we don't know. I don't know for sure if the prototype Indoraptor had Blue's DNA in it. That probably could have been why it was so violent. But if they would have used Blue's DNA instead of any other's Raptor's DNA that they used to create all the other Raptors, that could probably make the second Indoraptor a lot more sympathetic towards anything it comes across. But probably very unlikely, that because the Indominus Rex sample was smashed at the very end of the movie, so it probably won't happen, and we probably won't get another hybrid in the next movie. I believe there will be a next movie. I don't know just about what, but I kind of want the series to be over because I was very disappointed with the last movie. I didn't like it so much. But it is somewhat of a good movie. It's a little humorous, and there are some very, very sad parts of the movie. But this is the end of that video that I just did. So, please drop a like and subscribe. I only have 2 subscribers right now. If I manage to get 5 likes on this video, I'll do a video on how did Blue survive the wild. And that's a special video. I actually have some good thoughts on that. So, 5 likes and I'll do this video. And if we can get 2 more subscribers, that would be amazing. And